It's 10 o'clock on the dot. Good evening and welcome to the news brought to you by Eswatini TV. I'm Sanibong on. I'm with Zaman Zamanza. We're coming to you live from the Hospital Hill Studios in Babane. Your headlines tonight. Their Majesties have demonstrated their commitment to play a leading role towards the growth of the tourism sector in the country with a visit to Mlaula Nature Reserve. Their Majesties have blessed Easter services for the Kingdom of Eswatini. And parents at Gubulunga Primary School have resolved to select a new school committee. Good evening, the news in detail. Their Majesties have demonstrated their commitment to play a leading role towards the growth of the tourism sector in the country with a visit to Mlaula Nature Reserve. His Majesty the King and Her Majesty the Ndlovukazi were joined by Emakosigati Balondolozi, their Royal Highnesses, Bantu Bengosi and the former President of Botswana, Ian Khama, during the exclusive visit.
The arrival of Her Majesty the Ndlovukazi at Mlaula railway station set the tone for what was to become a memorable day. Her Majesty was given a befitting welcome with a passionate performance by Lutsango Lwakangwane. While the public was still appreciating the arrival of Her Majesty, the King arrived accompanied by a high-profile royal guest, the former President of the Republic of Botswana, Lieutenant General Ian Khama. Their Majesties were graciously received by the Acting Prime Minister, Honorable Manqoba Khumalo, and the Minister of Tourism and Environmental Affairs, Honorable Jane Mkhonta. Their Majesties boarded a train to Siweni and arrived after 30 minutes. This is where His Majesty the King was joined by General Khama on an exclusive hike at the Ironwood Trail. The hike covered a distance of about 3 kilometers. The King was taken on a tour of an ironwood forest at the very heart of the nature reserve. The ironwood tree ranks among the most ecologically and economically important plant species and is known to produce high-quality charcoal. It also produces incredibly strong wood that produces a vast array of products. In countries like Mozambique, this termite-resistant tree is used in the construction of bridges, furniture, and even homes.
Ngathi kuyunique ngalesihlahla unaphakathi lo ukuthi siba nebulili lobehlukene kukhona lesinebulili lobesilisa phinze kube nalesinebulili besifazana kusho ukuthi kuphuma le pollen grain kule lesilisa sibe stock pollinator lesi sesifazana bese ke sengiqhanike le pollination seyenteka fertilizer ke so ke kude lenye indlela litholakele lengakhona kusanzisa lesihlahla ngaphandle ukuthi kube ngilenhlanyelo letawela phansi emhlabathini bese iyamila wona phakathi bayethu wona phakathi lesihlahla ke siyadliwa ngiletinye itilwane le antelopes ayakhona kusidla but akusiwo onke la khona ko lokusidla and then naleti inhlanyelo takhona tiyadliwa tinyoni bese setiyasita kakhulu kulama dispersals lokukhansisa siyasanzisa lapha nalapha kepha ke sona kakhulu sibonakala sithanza kumila kakhulu phase emthundi sithi singamila sibe seedlings so ngakho sesingakhonakala ukuthatheka siyohlanyela engcenye kepha ke kakhulu sithanza lendzawo lengematshe nalomhlabathi lo ngathi uyisand luminescent soils lo ngathi mhlambe ngiyo lo ngathi kubonakala ukukhuthala lokumila ngakhona njoba sibona nje kuba khona photo indzawo lapho kungakamili khona ukukhanzisa lendzawo ayisiyelele kahle lokuyithandzako kuyayikhetha ke lendzawo bese kuyakhona letinye hlahla kuphila kuto kepha lokuyithokotele kahle hawu letinye hlahla vele tiyashabalala bese kumila sona bayethe wona phakathi lapha nasengena lekhasi nekhathi nehlathi wona phakathi vele kuba ngiso lesibonakala ngathi siyayama la kuso lesingathi astonzi kulogebele wena wona phakathi uyabonakala ke logebeleni umningi la ngaphasi ungathi impela tiyahambisana then sekunalo mthombothi nawo lo bonakala ukhona lokumila la ngaphasi nemthombothi uyaphilisana kanti tinako lokufanana ngalokho sinomthombothi nawo unako lokuba nebuthi lobuthi into lonto ukuthi letinye tihlahla bese atsakhona ukuphila ngaphasi kwayo bayethe wena phakathi
His Majesty the King was informed that Mlaula Nature Reserve is home to an exclusive cycast tree that is only found in the Kingdom of Eswatini. The royal visit to Mlaula sends a message to Emaswati to engage in domestic tourism by visiting local tourist attractions so that tourism can become a key driver of the economy. When His Majesty the King opened the first session of the 11th Parliament, he commanded government to promote the country as a destination of choice for tourists and further commanded the tourism industry players to offer tourists a royal experience. The last command was for government to move with speed towards the merging of Lubombo's 5 game parks. On the news, I am Sandile Makanya reporting from Mlaula.
Their Majesties have blessed Easter services for the Kingdom of Eswatini now. Their Majesties will, together with the nation, commemorate the death and the resurrection of Jesus Christ during the Easter weekend at Lobamba.
Nasi isimemethelo esibalulekile bekunene lesiphuma la sigodlweni elithithini kwathi somakholwa onke la kangwane nesive sonke kuthi setinkonzo yephasika tinkonzo kwele sibitha uthi Good Friday tinkonzo tiyaqala mhla tinge-20 nemfica kuyindlovu lenkulu noma March kuyabe ungulesihlanu konzo sikhumbula kufa kwakhe lolu suku siligubha esontweni lesive enganini sicela ke makholwa nga-10 abasaphelele enganeni bahleli phasi balinzele kufika kumakhosi kufika kumakhosi kusho ukuqala kwetinkonzo inkonzo yokuvuka kwakhe sikhupha estadium kaSomhlolo mhla tinge-31 sise-stadium nakhona nga-10 sesihleli phasi simele kuqala kwetinkonzo kufika kwemakhosi sesiyathi qala tinkonzo sive sesihleli phasi sesilinzele kufika kwamakhosi kufika amakhosi kusho ukuqala kwetinkonzo lebekunene siyacela ke bazalwane inhlonipho kubethe labahamba ngaphandle kwestadium nonke niphelele stadium ngokuba nitenkonzweni emakhosi ayacabanga ukuthi nisela ngangeni nonke nasolo bafana bayo babona nisela ngaphandle na ufika estadium ngena ngekhathi ngoba nitenkonzweni ngemgcibelo wemhla tinge-30 bafundisi basesangweni lakhe kuyingwenyama Mswati wesithathu enkabezweni kuye umlisa bese kuthi bomake belikhenya basekhenyeni lakhe kuyindlovu emhlaba elithithini labancane noma labasha basesontweni lesive bachubeka netifundo tabo ngemsombuluko mhla lulunye kumabasa bafundisi bavalelisa kuyindlovu emhlaba lumangcebeza kweshwabhusa ngelesibili bafundisi bayivalelisa kumlisa mhla 2 enkabezweni sekusho kuphela kwemsebenzi nebekunene siyacela ke bekunene inhlonipho noma nisesuka letindzaweni nigibela letincola nihloniphane hloniphe labashayela letincola nasenifikile lapha bekunene ningahlukani nani abe niyawugeza amanzana nihambe libe lithandana nendele ukuthi noma kuqhamuka bozidlani bangeke banikhole nani banenganyana nasemgwaqweni niwele kahle ningaweli la khathe emgwaqweni nikhwele lapha edule emabloweni kulama bridge niwelele ngale ngiloko bekunene simemethelo sikhishwa Bishop Samson Hlatshwako egameni lebukhosi bayethe wena waphakathe.
The Honourable Minister of Finance, Noel Rickenback, says the best way to end corruption is to work together and for the members of the public to report corrupt practices. Honourable Minister was speaking in Parliament when delivering the Ministry's annual performance report for the 2023-2024 financial year.
During the ongoing annual performance report and budget debate by the Senate, the Honourable Minister of Finance, Noel Rickenback, delivered the Ministry's annual performance report for the 2023-2024 financial year before a portfolio committee led by Senator Tony Spanza as the chairperson. The Honourable Committee then debated the report.
Ngakubhuda emfuneni kokuthi ngithena ngibuka le report ngakhaza ukuthi baba understaffed. Kwakhaza sike solo kwaba nale freeze ya 2018. Kuthi ngabe imvuna iyikhulumeni mhlambe ecabinet kokuthi vele kusebenza kwabo kulukhuni kanti kunema positions la mcoka that ngakuthi avaleke. Ngathi ke nako mhlawumbe sengimuntu asave kahle ukuthi ngabe le lo unfreeze akutawuze kube kunini.
Are we taking corruption seriously? If we are taking corruption seriously, what have we done really? I mean, when I'm talking about the ministries internal, what are they having to show a commitment to when they are serious?
Yeah, kanga lokubi lokusetshusako yongenideka kulapha ma accounts la bhadala khona lapha la bhadala khona emahofisini kanje kuse awuna wafakwa khona lokuthinte ngeke lapho libhadala awubhadala ufuna ukugqotshisa oqala kubonakala ukuthi kuyasetshenzwa Congress out nyanza leyo minister sisho nje kuyavuza minister nameka ngodaba.
There's been some complaints that the Eswatini government tender board, which is under the Ministry of Finance, is subject to manipulation by some ministries and departments. Le bengifisa ke ukuva sihlalo ngokuthi ingabe independent yale tender board ihamba ifike.
The Honourable Minister of Finance, Neil Rickenback, provided the committee with responses.
The only way we are going to deal with these issues if people speak up. My request is, if anybody is even saying to you, to say, hey, someone was asking for a bribe for payment, please, anonymous, whatever you do, recordings, there's so many ways in today's world to catch this person and to say, now we have proof that you are asking for a bribe, that you are doing something wrong. Please, the only way we're going to stop our corruption problems in Eswatini is if we work together and we all bambisana to be able to really stop this thing.
The Honourable Committee further applauded the works of the Auditor General's Office and the Eswatini Revenue Service. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I'm Samgal Swekoza, Parliament.
The government of the Kingdom of Eswatini is currently making an investment policy review to attract foreign direct investment and foster economic growth. The Minister of Commerce, Industry and Trade, Mangoba Kumalo, said this when responding to an outcry from the business community that some localization laws are making it difficult for investors to bring their businesses to the country.
We need to figure out a way as a government to create a harmonious investment policy that will ensure that all the state agencies are speaking the same language in terms of investment promotion and promises that we make to the investors. So how are we fixing that? We have recently launched an investment policy review that is being led by IPA. So recently, the CEO at IPA presented to Cabinet this particular process, and they are starting to engage all the stakeholders. They've hired a consultant who is helping them to get this investment policy reviewed. The intention of this investment policy is that there will be one entity under IPA that will be able to give investors all the answers that they need, and the people in that entity will be seconded to this entity from various ministries, so that if they need a work permit, Home Affairs have seconded somebody who is an expert in analyzing and advising on work permits to ensure that the investors get the resolution that they need in the least amount of time.
The House of Senate says the Ministry of Economic Planning must commit to the set date for the completion of the International Convention Centre, the ICC. And the senators were speaking in Parliament when Honourable Minister of Economic Planning, Dr. Tambo Gina, was delivering the Ministry's annual performance report.
Minister of Economic Planning and Development, Dr. Tambo Gina, delivered his preamble for the annual performance of the ministry before a Senate Portfolio Committee led by Senator Linda Ngumalo as the chairperson, where he pleaded with the House to pass the requested budget by the ministry.
sike sivakashise usibone ama-projects ngikhulume ngento leniyadiko leniyibonile setawutfola-ke sikhathi ukuthi ngaba nini lapho siyophinze sihlale phansi cishe siwakhaze kakhulu ema-projects ukuthi yini lokubheke ukuthi siyende. I humbly ngokuthoba kwethula lo mbiko nalecelo le-budget.
The Honourable Committee then forwarded their questions through the chairperson.
Kungaba kubuda nje ukuthi vele siqiniseko ikakhulu sale ICC le kukhulunywa ngayo nakuvulwa eParliament ukuthi kufuna sibe sekupheleni ukuthi nami ngifuna kuhamba lapho ukuthi ngabe siqiniseko sikhona sokuthi vele indaba seyiphelile. Ngoba nalokho ngapheli popular kakhuluma lokungalakisethi lelive kanti vele sento liyacala. Sicela nje siqiniseko ukuthi ngabe minister uthi vele nakanjani lo nyaka iyaphela.
Make sure we pay trade, because at all costs you must take care of the projects that are ballooning. Kumbe manje ubiyeka nje utawugcina sekuyinyakanyaka ezimali. Ngiyathandazela nami ukuthi awuNkulunkulu akusize iphele le project.
So na last parliament nabasitshela bathi no, by the end of this parliament it will be paid. Nyalo nangibuka le report la bathi the revised completion date is December 2024. Lokusho ukuthi sikumachi nyalo. So in 9 months time, according to this report, the ICC tobe seyiphelile. Can the minister confirm? Can he put his head on the block? Would see the date he's committing on this report will be honored.
The minister was to furnish the committee with responses when you compiled this report, whereas the committee uploaded the works of micro-projects. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I'm Samka Swekoza, Parliament.
The House of Senate says the Ministry of Tourism must look into the issue of extinction of indigenous trees, the impacts of climate change and the promotion of the tourism industry. And the senators were speaking during a debate of the ministry's budget and the annual performance report for the 2023-2024 financial year.
Following a preamble by the Honourable Minister of Tourism and Environmental Affairs, James Milane, on the budget and performance of the ministry, the Tourism Portfolio Committee, led by Senator Lorraine Ngumalo, as the chairperson, debated the report.
University chicken dust. Lele hlahla lisuka khona lisuka lendazi elibonje and labantu sebasukelana ngama-homeland bengcono ukucala bebaxexa ngamazembe njalo lama-homeland shampu ubhelento kuphele ungaphili yentani-ke litiko lentani uvusetela leto hlahla tesintu noma-ke naloku sikhuthisate emaswati lokuthi akasuthi juba letihlahla ngoba kutawudaleka lugwadule lokungenda lemisebenzi yethu ibe ngileyo lesilethela tivakashi nalesivimbela noma lesitako ukuthi indzaba njinjanjija kwesimo selitulu weather climate climate change kungaba ukuthi kube nemthetho lo comprehensive ukuthi siyakwenda naku
mina nje ngithi angidzabuke shemene ngive buhlungu nyalo nje njobe ukuthi imihlanga nalokwa sekubana naba bedidududu uve ukuthi sebaboshiwe bese bathethe iniyane mazambonjwane sebabosha asisho ukuthi abangawulandzela umthetho kodwa ke kufuna vele babe nako lokubafundzisa nabangena legedeni ukuthi indlela yokuthi phatha la kangwane kuze ujike uphephile kutaba ngu-999.
The Honourable Minister of Tourism, James Milane, responded to the debate.
Naso skejana lesikhona la e-ministry sisebhodini yakhona la Eswatini Environmental Authority lesingisona sibuke tona letindzaba taletihlahla tesintfu lokufaka ekhatsi lababuya khona e-University yakithi yaKangwane lebafundzele tona letihlahla labo zamazama laba bawasebentisa vele lama-explosives lawa lese akhokha lobutsi bese sebunyuka ubeta imvelo lokusho kokuthi thine-ke sisemkhankasweni wekwekuthi siyivikele lemvelo ngaloko ukuthi sente imithetho nema-regulations latawubakhweshisa latabacosha vele mbamba.
The Senate further praised the works of the Eswatini Meteorological Service for alerting the nation swiftly about suspected harsh weather conditions. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I'm Samgal Suekoza, Parliament.
Right, at this time we shift gears into the world of business. We take a look at financial indicators to get a sense of our markets for today in a financial report.
Standard Bank. It can be.
Welcome back. You're still with the news at 10 at Eswatini TV. Right now we're going to the world of news, with the world of sports. Now, Eswatini Football Association President Peter Smelane says the ongoing club directors workshop facilitated by the Football Association will assist clubs to find means and ways of generating revenue. Smelane was speaking when opening the workshop at Sekwaka House in Babano.
Eswatini Football Association has started a 7-day workshop aimed at capacitating Board of Governors at Premier League and National First Division. President of Eswatini Football Association, Peter Samuel Smelane, says that the course should assist club directors to be able to find ways of generating incomes for their players. Facilitator of the course, who is the Chief Executive Officer of the National Football Association, Frederick Mgometuro, mentioned that the course will indeed contribute to the development of the football game in the country, especially by improving the level of local football. Chairman of Premier League of Eswatini, Mark Carmichael, who spoke on behalf of the club directors, he emphasized the issue of funds when it comes to running clubs is indeed a challenging one, but there is a hope that the cause will assist them in managing the situation.
So with these type of causes, with these type of opportunities, could improve. Definitely sponsorship will start knocking at the door. And once again, I'd just like to thank the President for giving us this opportunity.
The 7-day course will conclude on Wednesday next week. For Eswatini TV Sports, Fabrice Msonera, Mpawane.
Eswatini Cricket Association's Chief Operations and Development Officer Zenzele Mazibugo says the upcoming T20 friendly between Eswatini and Lesotho to be held from the 28th to the 30th of March will improve the country's cricket rankings since the game has been commissioned by the International Cricket Council. Mazibugo was speaking to Eswatini TV Sports at Malkans.
A bilateral series T20 match Lesotho siqala Friday yamhla.
Eswatini Cricket Association Chief Operations and Development Officer Zenzele Mazibugo says that the friendly T20 match between Eswatini and Lesotho from the 28th to the 30th of this month will mostly assist and improve the current rankings of the cricket national team. Mazibuko says in as much as it is a friendly match, it was organized and requested through the assistance of the International Cricket Council that governs cricket in the world. Mazibuko concluded mentioning that what is exciting is to see that Eswatini national team has exciting new junior players who hold the future of the sport but will require to be supported financially.
So ukuthi umdlali athi ithengele individually kuyaye kube inkinga kakhulu, especially nyalo ukuthi ku-national teams nalabafana labancane labasafunda edikolweni labanye labasengaseni.
Right, with those sports news, we hit the home stretch of the news at 10 here at Eswatini TV. But before we go, here's a quick reminder of news making headlines tonight. Their Majesties have demonstrated their commitment to play a leading role towards the growth of the tourism sector in the country with a visit to Mlaula Nature Reserve. Their Majesties have blessed the Easter services for the Kingdom of Eswatini. And parents at Tigubulunga Primary School have resolved to select a new committee. Right, with those headlines, we concluded the news at 10 here at Eswatini TV. Thanks so much for choosing to stay with us. We shall now cross over to the Weather Center for a detailed weather report from us and the team at Eswatini TV. For now, it's a good night and God bless.